Sup? It's Hallie. Welcome back to Lisa the Joyful. Oh, my controller's bugging out. It's okay, don't worry about it. So when we last left off, we were here trying to beat the secret boss, and I'm just going to run while I talk because there's a lot I need to say. Not a whole lot, but not just enough. So I did some digging online and didn't find out much more than I knew from last time. The only videos depicting anyone beating this boss are from a year ago when the game first came out, and apparently they're from like the earliest version that was available prior to a patch. And the patch actually made this fight intentionally impossible. This behavior we observe with like the Warlord combo, let's call it, where um, it starts with the heart squeeze, and it eventually just kills Buddy by overwhelming her with damage. Yeah, that's intentional, because like it's even confirmed by the developer somewhere. I didn't see exactly where, but it is. Hold on, I just want to check Buddy's stats real quick, because, okay, there's the number. I just needed the number on screen so that I can tally these guys up later, because I'm not going to be actively tallying how many of them we kill. But anyway, the thing is, yeah, for the narrative's standpoint, Buddy is supposed to not be able to beat these guys, and if you make too much of an effort to actually defeat them, well, that they start doing that combo, and it's supposed to stop you from winning, is basically the idea, because the damage will eventually be too much, you can't keep up with it, and even if you could, Dice Mahone has his Silence Bomb ability as part of the thing. And it's such that even if you could theoretically survive the damage, you wouldn't be able to attack anymore because it stops you from attacking. So that makes you wonder, well, why am I here fighting mysterious figures? Well, here's the thing. This is a genocide run. Peace was never an option. We need to beat these guys, and it's not actually impossible, even with the way they've set it up. Because the way I see it, we don't necessarily need to survive, or we don't need to, like, overwhelm them with power or anything. We just need to be strong enough to survive one round of the Warlord combo. And we're actually not too far off from that, because we did see Buddy survive it before. It's just kind of up to chance whether she does or not. But the thing is, if we can get through one round of that, we can use the pacifist ability to create an opening for ourselves to throw a firebomb. Because that's the one offensive action that being silenced does not prevent. So basically, what we're going to do to beat this fight is we're going to focus exclusively on Dice Mahone while we're at liberty to do so. We want to do as much damage to him as we possibly can, so that whenever they start silencing us, we've already done as much free damage as possible. Then we will throw firebombs. Hopefully, it will be enough to kill Dice, and that will stop his silencing us. And once silence wears off, we can take on the rest of them. And all the rest of it's just like having enough jerky and health to get through it, basically. And I'm not super concerned about that, because, like, while we're throwing firebombs at Dice, Hansanami is basically inevitably going to die, and it's going to weaken all the rest of them. And with each Warlord that falls, the Warlord combo gets less devastating. So, yeah. Now that we've got that all explanation out of the way, it's just a matter of becoming strong enough to do this. And I wasn't sure if they had put in like a failsafe for this exact idea, but we actually do have a very accurate idea of how strong Buddy can become. Because if you take on the easy mode that Larry Stintz offers, you gain like 50 levels. Because it's so silly, you beat these super easy enemies, they give you like a million or of HP or experience or whatever. So yeah, and I checked Buddy's stats as she was leveling up in like previous streams where we played this, and she can totally get strong enough to survive that combo. So it's just kind of a question of how many mysterious figures is it going to take before that's the case. Which is why the title of today's stream is Training Montage. And we're just going to be killing these guys until we level up. And I don't know exactly how much experience we will need to get this done exactly, how many more levels it will take. I figure we can, like, give the Warlord battle a try once per level. But it's clearly going to take a while, because these guys are worth, like, what, 1% of our experience so far? Yeah, so that's why I made... Oh, hold on. First of all, let me go to options. We're going to put on some other music to get us through this, because as great as this game's music is, I think it's probably going to get a bit repetitive if we just leave it as is. So I've got Troubadour on here. I just updated it today with songs. Hit shift there. Oh no. What? What do you mean I couldn't find that? Oh, criminy. I didn't rename some of the songs in the folder. Can I... That's gonna take a bit to fix. Oh no. Oh no. This is what I get for trying to do this like 5 minutes before the stream, instead of like preparing properly and testing things and stuff. Alright, you get to wait a little bit while I sort this out in my thing. The thing is, I recently changed like the titles of the songs in the thing, but I didn't change them in the version on this computer. I didn't realize I needed to update the whole thing. Oh god. What would be faster? Renaming them here or copying them off of my other PC? You know, it might actually be faster to copy them off the other PC. You know what? I'm going to do something super unprofessional here. You get to watch Buddy just standing there while I do this. Well, I guess I can put on, like, other songs in the meantime. Here, hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me fire up Troubadour again. I'll at least give you something to listen to while I'm bothering to do this. Do. Go, Troubadour, go. Go. It's firing up. There it is. Okay. What song should I put on? Is it this little key? Let's go with... We'll go with... I'll set it to vol... Oh, no. We'll set it to layer. There. We can listen to the... Oh, it picks the absolute worst song to start with. That's fine. No, it's fine. I'll be right back. Alright, we got it. Got it. Oh my god. Let's put the controller. Plug the thing in. Ooh, Pandora Palace. That's a nice song. That's a very nice song. This. Alright, I probably need to close Troubadour while I update it though, so let me do that real quick. Closing Troubadour. The music folder. Paste the thing. Moving all the stuff. Phew. I don't really mind. This was already going to be easily the worst stream. It's just going to be me killing this guy over and over again until we level up. Hopefully it won't take more than one stream. I guess I could use my time off stream to do it too, if I really wanted. I really don't, but I could. But then we wouldn't have all the kills on screen too. Place the files. Yes, yes. There we go. Okay, the files are updated. It should work just fine now. Hey, would you look at that? Hey, it's that song from this game. Or at least the one before it. We're switching it to battle music. Alright, we should be good to go. We just gotta eject my thing. Eject the jump drive. Thank you. Safe to remove hardware. Plug the controller back in. And we're ready to kill more things. Yay! That took like 10 minutes. I still think it would have been faster than trying to rename all the files right now. Sticking ampersands in them. Training montage. Okay. I wonder if we'll ever reach a point where we can just kill them in one hit. Probably will, but it's gonna take a long time because so much. How I wish this little doorway was like a lot closer to the guy. Behind that second fence would have been nice. But hey, at least there is a way we can get strong enough to fight back against the warlords. This is the run to do it. Like, my goodness. Something tells me I won't be inclined to do so in future runs of Joyful. Let this be the one time we beat the warlords, just because we can. I'm really confident we can. I don't necessarily know how long it might take to beat them. And also, I worry that like our healing items won't last long enough to get us through it. Because, like, the plan, once we get through Dice and Han, is to just take out whoever does the most damage in the Warlord combo to lower its capacity as much as possible. And we just keep picking people off until there's, you know, we're taking as little damage as possible. I just don't know if our resources will hold out. I don't even know if we can get Dice killed with the fire. I'm hoping he will burn to death to some degree. I don't know his susceptibility to burning. We know they can burn, at least some of them can burn. I just never really bothered to pay attention to who was catching fire or not. I also don't know at what thresholds they start doing the Warlord combo is the thing. I would assume it has something to do with them taking damage. Like, once a certain damage threshold has been crossed, they start attacking. But if it's after like 5 turns, that might not be enough. Just gotta pick and choose and hit Dice as hard as we can. While we can. Because we don't have to worry about them freaking out and attacking us until we've dealt enough damage, is the thing. And as long as we've got second wind up, we should be fine for that. Yeah, as long as we have second wind ready, they shouldn't be able to sneak up on us. And we can just take our time, make sure we do as much damage as we can to dice when we have the opportunities, and go from there. We'll just have to see. If we can't take them out with the fire bombs, then yeah, then we're still going to need to get stronger. Thankfully, Buddy's firebomb damage will level up with her since it's based on a stat. Like, I've definitely noticed that Brad does more damage throwing firebombs than some of his buddies do. And that's because he has higher special stat. Let's see, I did set Troubadour to go automatically, right? Yeah, it's on auto. This is just kind of a long song. Or maybe it only feels long because of what we're doing right now. This is my life today. This is my life for the next hour and 40 minutes. Guess I could talk about other stuff in the meantime. I don't really feel like it though. It's been a long week. Phew. I've been trying to get back on the ball of things at work. One of my co-workers recently quit, who occupied roughly the same position as me, just for like another segment of the company, and I offered to inherit their duties, which I don't mind doing because like I can definitely handle it. It's just a matter of getting on top of it, and it is kind of a much larger workload. So getting into the swing of things with that has been pretty real. I've also been entirely too active on eBay. I'm happy with my purchases, except for the two I mentioned the other day when it Tastes Like Spelunky LP, where I had gotten fake cards from 2 different sources on the same day. Man, what a bummer that was. I'm gonna go camp. We're getting beat up. Those mysterious figures, their damage adds up after a while. Oh, the camp is far away. Apparently that song never turns off. The voices hum on that one screen. Poison spider! It's fine, it'll probably wear off before we even get there. I guess I can just truck back to the list, actually. Why don't we do that? That's faster. We can also periodically save. Maybe here, just in case. But yeah, buying a lot of cards. Been enjoying it, but also kind of fretting about it because I'm not used to spending money in such a fashion. Like, goodness, my bank statement came in the other day. Well, no, today. And apparently I spent like $4,000 last month. Not specifically on cards alone, but that's where most of the cost came from. And I'm still over 10k. In fact, I'm still over like 12k. It's kinda nuts. I'll slow down eventually, I swear. And I don't exactly plan on keeping all of the Pokemon stuff I have. Like, I already explained my system for how I'm regulating my purchases of cards, and that's some other past point in time. But I might as well talk about it again, because why not? Good grief, that deep poison took out half my health, all by itself. I guess we do have Mend. I need to remember that Buddy is self-sufficient. Well, anyway, the basic idea is that the more cards I have from a set, the less I can spend on one. So, like, if I have a whole lot of cards from a set, I have to get a really good deal on the packs or I'm not getting them at all. But also, the older a set is, the more I can spend. So, like, even if a set is really old, even if I have a lot of cards from a set, if it's really old, I might still be able to buy something from it, depending on what I get, or what kind of deals I can find. But anyway, the whole idea is it makes deals harder and harder to come by, and therefore less and less likely to spend, but I just keep finding pretty decent deals. Most of the really good ones I find are for like cards that have already been opened, which is it does put me at risk of like getting more fake cards, but if you pay attention to the details, it's usually pretty easy to spot them. I just wasn't very careful with those two particular orders. It was kind of unfortunate because, from what I could tell from those two sellers, they weren't intentionally selling fake things. Like the one person, they said they knew nothing about what Pokemon was, and they just happened across this item under questionable circumstances, I guess we'll say. It was a returned mailbox item, is how they described it. And I really don't understand what that means. But, oh wow, it burned to death. Yeah, for all I know. Oh, you know, it bled to death, not burned to death, whatever. For all I knew, and for all they knew, it could have been a legit item, and I could have gotten a really good deal on that particular thing. But no, it was not meant to be. The other guy said someone had emailed them and said the cards were fake, but they didn't follow up. And the reason I didn't catch that they'd mentioned this in the description was because for whatever reason, they had the body of their description in there twice. Like they had the main paragraph, then the same main paragraph again, and then underneath that it said, hey, my buddy emailed me and said these are fake, but I don't know. It's like, thanks, guy. Very great stuff. Because, you know, the reason I stopped reading the description was because, oh, I thought I'd already gotten through it when I saw the main body paragraph again. Like, whatever, this person's incredibly incompetent. But I guess it's also I'm also incredibly incompetent for not paying closer attention. Oh wow, these guys can't hurt me if I'm not wary. Neat. And look at that, they give me wary. Stinker. I added this song to the Troubadour just today. I like it, but not that much. Not the best battle theme from Superstar Ultra. But it's aight. Black the Knight's pretty cool. I like it better than the regular Meta Knight battle theme. Yes, we can really see how the effects of Wary and Weird stack when we're fighting these guys. Because they both lower defense. The one lowers my defense enough that the guy can hurt me, and the other one lowers it that he does 15 damage more, looks like. Thereabouts. Unfortunately, both of these statuses are able to be contracted in the Warlord fight, so we're just gonna have to hope. Controller, work! So, like, this thing is dying. It seriously just died. Come on now! Controller! Why? Still haven't bothered to figure out whether it's the USB port that's the issue or not. It's unfortunate either way. My focus is focused. God, good grief. A mess. Look, we're already up to like a quarter of the way to a level. And it's only been half an hour. And I spent some of that time screwing around with stuff. Oop, I didn't mean to press a button that made you stop sprinting, dear. Oh, what now? What broke this time? Couldn't find Grubhub Trap Remix. Oh, did I change how that one was phrased too? Okay, hold on. Apparently I should have just copied the whole dang folder. No, hold on, I can fix this one. Okay, go to my documents. Criminy. Man, I didn't realize I was going to have all these issues doing this. At least this is only one title we need to fix. Come on now. It's working on it. There it goes. Okay, Grubhub. Why can't it find it? It's right there. It's even spelled the same way. Music, battle, Grubhub, Threat Remix. Oh, how did I... Okay. I need to add space dash space and 5XL. Okay. N5XL. There we go. I'll try to click rollback and see if that does it. Hopefully it does. Rollback? No, it just crashed. It's okay. It's okay. We'll just start it back up again. And why did it pick that one right then? It shouldn't have... Oh, no, I guess it would have been. That one would have been after. Okay, so we'll select that song regularly from the list. Grubhub. Yeah. This is the music we need to kill this guy to. Come on now, controller. Don't you get all weird on me. Dang it. This guy's beating me up. Get healed. I guess one other bummer about having to do this is that we've lost all the perks we would have had going into the battle. Like, we don't get the TP boost from being drunk and all that. And we lost our super cool status, too. It kind of doesn't matter with what we're going to need to be doing, but it would have been nice to have those perks. Can I just... No, you can't. You have to actually leave and come back. Very well. I did it again. I pressed the button that made her stop running. Which is literally any button other than the ones you're already holding. I'm just thankful there's any way to grind in this game at all, because otherwise the Warlord battle would truly be impossible. It sucks that we need to brute force it this way, basically, but we'll do what we gotta do. We have to kill them. We are not cowards. We will not shy away from this challenge. We will thwart the developers, despite their best efforts. If they wanted it to truly be impossible, I guess they should have made it so that they could initiate the Warlord combo, even if you do the pacifist thing. Good grief, they really can do a lot more damage whenever, you've got both deep down statuses. But I guess maybe that little punch thing does more damage than his swipe. Seems to be much stronger. Learning more about this mysterious figure than I ever thought I would. Having to actually pay attention to what he does. Well, not so much having to, but rather just being the only thing in front of me to focus on in the game. Phew. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to say about the Pokemon cards? Not really. I feel like I've got it covered. Still got some auctions I'm trying to win. Still got some sets I would like to see more cards thrown. I have like 11 things waiting for me in the mail. The real death blow to my collecting habits, or these current collecting habits, will come whenever this one problematic deal finally gets done with. It's been 2 months at this point, I want to say. Maybe it was only one. Was it only one? Can't remember. Basically, I had found this person who was selling a huge lot of Pokemon merchandise, and I mean huge. I couldn't quite tally exactly everything in it from looks, because there were so many things. I based it on what the description said, and I'm not sure the description even listed everything that was pictured. But, the way they were selling it, there was just this huge lot of merch. and I forget what level the bidding was set at, but like it was kind of a suspicious auction because the person was new on eBay, they had zero feedback, they had joined like a week ahead of that, and these are usually red flags that will point toward, well, the merch being fake or something like that, where it seems like it's too good to be true. You know, it's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and then you bid all this money and you pay them, and they take the money and run, and you never see the stuff. And by the time anyone figures out what's going on, they're long gone. But no, it actually wasn't that at all because, well, first I verified that the merchandise existed, because what such a person could have done was just taken somebody else's screenshots of their own auction and used them in theirs. But whenever I used like Google image search to double check their things, their auction was the only result, basically. There were no duplicate results anywhere else on the internet, so that pinned them to that auction, meaning they were at least unique that way. And they were also pictures in like a physical space, not stock images from like the Pokemon Center website or anything. So you could see like the stuff all on the desk. They had lots of different angles and different places and things, so the merchandise existed in a physical space unique to this thing. Now, the question of whether it was real or not, I kind of decided by just the sheer amount of things there, because they had so many things. They had all kinds of stuff. They had tins and boxes and ETBs and just boosters and everything. There's every kind of Pokemon merchandise for the TCG you can imagine was basically on that table. Blister packs and whatnot. And when I asked them about it, I had gotten in touch with them to see if I could, just to get a feel for them, to see what they would how they would respond and stuff, to see if what they said was suspicious in any way, and it really wasn't. It was like the night before I would have bid on this thing, and I had to message them, and they hadn't heard back, and I decided if they don't hear back, I'm just not going to bother. Or I figured the bidding would probably get out of control and be way beyond my price range. But neither of those things happened, because when I woke up in the morning, I discovered that they had replied, and they'd given me some very useful information that helped me with trusting them. Basically, they said that they normally operate out of a site called Whatnot, which is similar to eBay, I guess, but not quite. They do, like, live streams there somehow. It's a sort of like streaming plus selling. I don't know exactly how that is, but they had a storefront there. They linked me to it, and I was able to find them there. And they had been there since June, so that was a lot longer of a time frame. They hadn't just joined. It wasn't like a burner account, and they also had some sales. Not very many, but they had some. It was all positive feedback. My controller died again. And I was like, okay, so this person, yeah, it was the circumstances of their account on eBay were sus before, but a lot less now. They said the reason they moved to eBay was because they were recommended to because of like the sheer scale of what they were selling. And I was like, alright, that's enough that I'm willing to give this a shot. And the bidding had only climbed to like, I want to say about 500 whenever I was ready to bid on it myself. I think possibly the circumstances I just described caused people to shy away from it, which is why I got it for such a good deal. But basically, I had calculated in advance, just based on the description like I was saying, how much the packs were worth. Just on a per-pack basis, it was worth like $1,000, and that's paying $2.50 per pack, mind you. Which is like half the value that you would normally get them new from like an official source. So I was like, alright, my maximum bid will be like 900 something, and we'll see how it goes. And I won the thing for like $860, and shipping and tax pushed it to over 900, and then I didn't hear back from them again. And I was like, okay, what's going on? A week went by, didn't hear anything, decided to go to Whatnot and try to talk to them there. And I was able to get in touch, but a short distance into our conversation, I was randomly banned from using messages on Whatnot. And I was like, what? What is going on here? I had to appeal the thing and try to figure out what was going on. Apparently, I violated their policy about discussing off-site sales. Like, I had mentioned mailing into tracking numbers, and I guess that got caught in their system and it auto-banned me or something. But I was able to explain the circumstances to them and regain my account access after like another week had gone by. And the really annoying thing about it was, like, whenever I was talking to them, they had left a phone number for me to call and or text to get in touch with them. But after I lost my message access, I actually couldn't even access the text log anymore, so I couldn't find their number until I got back to that. And for them, they were, like, equally confused, because on their end, they just saw that I'd been banned too. They told me, like, they thought I was a scammer. I don't think they reported me. I think it really did just get caught automatically by the system. But man, it was a really unfortunate set of circumstances. So then I shifted our discussion strictly to text, just to avoid such a snafu again. But our woes had not ended there, because the reason I had not heard back from them on eBay was that they had lost access to their eBay account for completely different reasons. Apparently they had made a separate Google email account for their eBay account, but they forgot the password and got locked out of it and couldn't get back in. So, while I was trying to get back access to my whatnot, they were trying to get back access to their eBay, and everything was just moving at the speed of molasses. An absolute travesty, really. Oh my goodness. But then, like, a couple weeks ago, they said they finally got access back to their eBay, and the last text message I received from them was like, okay, so let me know when you want to do this thing, either, it's like finalizing the sale, or, what was it? Either finalizing the sale or organizing a refund. And I was like, man, look, I've had my payment ready since this all started. Just put it in the mail and just add tracking, please, and thank you. How do you go down this hole? I don't know how exactly you activate this. Go down the hole, buddy. How? There has to be a consistent way. Is it just my controller being dumb? I have no idea. Maybe you have to press it repeatedly. I don't know. The secrets in this game are dumb. But anyway, yeah, that's the last I heard from them, and I'm hoping that they just see my text and just finalize the sale and put the dang thing in the mail, because then it'll be over. I don't plan on keeping all that stuff either. I only intend to, like, flip most of it. Like, the way I enjoy filling out my collection, even though it's super inefficient, is opening packs. I just enjoy doing that. It's fun for me. But whenever my collection reaches critical mass and I'm just getting, like, more unnecessary copies than I could ever need or use, that's the point at which I feel it would be prudent to stop opening packs and just, like, flip whatever's left of them. And I have plans for all of that. Anything that's, like, a sealed product I'm good to go with, basically. I can just put them in auction and put them at a decent price. And as long as the price is low enough, people will bid on it, and they can bid it as high as they're comfortable with. And I paid so little for most of these things that, like, even a little bit of profit is going to be recovering money for me. But I also have plans for, like, the card bulk and stuff, because I've bought card bulk before, and there are things about it I like and things about it I don't. And I kind of want to put some card bulk lots out there that rectify some of the things that I have problems with personally, and we'll see if they resonate with other people. This controller continually dies. It's actually quite bad. Like, there's this little button on it that you can press to switch the functionality of the D-pad and the control stick. It basically just swaps the configuration around so one does the other and so forth. I definitely prefer the D-pad for games like this because it's more reliable. But whenever that light goes out, or when you press the button, the light turns on to let you know it's active, and I can tell whenever this controller has a hiccup because the light goes out. And it's gone out like 5 times during this stream already. This controller might be dying. It might be dying. It might be the USB port, it might be the controller. I'm guessing it's probably the controller. But anyway. So, yeah. Gonna be even though I've bought a lot of Pokemon cards in recent times, I'm also going to be selling a lot of cards in the future, and it's looking like that won't be some massive endeavor. In fact, I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll just have to see how it goes. I just want to keep it, like, as uncomplicated as possible. I'm not gonna get into having a whole big eBay store with hundreds of items or thousands. Definitely not interested in selling individual cards. Just gonna do what I can with it and have a good time. Get it again! Get it again! Phew. And in the meantime, when I'm not busy buying way too many Pokemon cards, I'm struggling to catch up with other things, like artwork and game design. Goodness. I don't even know if I'll be able to catch up by the end of the year. But then again, I also haven't been running on all cylinders for a while now. I recently discovered that if I forego a little bit of my morning routine, a trivial part of it, nothing serious, I can actually fit in a longer session of something before work. Like, normally my sessions are 2 hours long, and to do a longer one, I'll go like 2:15 to 2.5 hours is basically the idea. And before work, I usually only have time for 2 hours. But if I get up slightly earlier than usual, I can fit in the 15 to 20 minutes necessary to make a longer session. So I'm hoping that will be enough to help me rebound. I just need to get back on the ball. I feel like everything's been crazy for way too long. Too much change, too rapidly. Phew. And admittedly, I have been tormenting myself a bit with my eBaying, because, like, there are a couple things I'm really keeping a sharp eye out for, because they're not available to buy anywhere as far as I know. Basically, there are these two trainer kits from the Gen 6 era. One is Bisharp versus Wigglytuff, and the other is Sylveon versus Noivern. And nobody's selling them. They're just not anywhere online. They're not on TCG Player. There are no auctions for them on eBay. You can find individual cards for them, which is just fine, but I wanted the whole kit. So, every 12 hours, basically at 11 o'clock a.m. and 11 o'clock p.m., since I'm usually available to do something at those times, I have been checking eBay and TCG Player to see if any of those things are listed. And when they're not, well, oh well. But when I'm done, I continue looking along eBay for, like, booster pack deals to see what I can get. Which has been fueling my shopping addiction online. And even with as many cards as I bought, I still have so many deals that keep coming across. And yeah, I look at everything like in terms of like a per pack basis. Like, how many cards am I getting for the cost that's being offered? And most of the time it's like a total rip-off, so it's a no-brainer. I can just, like, see how many packs are in the thing and multiply them in my head, and if they go over $3 a pack, that's basically it. It's kind of annoying, though, because some things vary in the amount of packs they include. Like, the number of packs you get in ETB has been steadily increasing over time. It used to be, like, I want to say the lowest I've ever seen is 8, and the highest I've ever seen is 11, but those are, like, special versions of ETBs, too. It's really hard to tell. But then again, it's also not that difficult, because you can do the over-under pretty easily. Like, you can just look at the price they're selling the ETB for, and get a general idea of whether that many packs would even be within range. My goodness. For me to get 8 packs at $3 each, that's a minimum of 24. Oh wait, no, there's a maximum of 24, rather. So yeah, any ETB that costs more than $24 is like off the table unless it has more packs in it. And the maximum would be, what, $33? So yeah, not knowing the number of packs that are in an ETB, the range is 24 to 33, and most of them sell for like 40 to 50, and it's like, you don't have to put that much thought in it. Most of the time when you'll get deals like that is in bulk lots and things, but bulk lots are also becoming harder for me to buy as I get more and more things. Most of the Pokemon merch available right now is just from like the Gen 8 and 9 series, and I have so many cards from those already that the prices have just been driven way, way down, and it's very difficult for me to find good deals on those still. Which is good, because I would be spending too much if I was able to get the deals more easily. I mean, spending too much more than I already am spending too much. And we win. These guys keep beating me up. I have like a mountain of open boxes and packing material just gradually expanding out of the corner of my apartment. I'm gonna need to confront that at some point. Just can't be arsed right now. Need to get through like a full week of not having orders come in, which has not happened for a while. It's like every other day I'm getting packages. It's kind of fun getting things in the mail, even if it's a pricey habit. I'm just not super concerned. I've had a big pile of cash for a very long time. Most of it was like in case of emergencies, but I'm in a severe lack of emergencies and somehow still over 10k with all this crazy spending I've done. And I can also stop doing this like anytime, basically. And I've got a sustainable lifestyle outside of it, so I'm sure I've said this before, but as long as I know that I can turn off the Pokemon faucet and be fine, everything's good. You can turn off the Pokemon faucet, you can't turn off the water faucet. That's the philosophy. So how are other things doing? Well, let's see. I finished the thumbnail for Cream Soda today, and I still have like 7 other ones to do. I drew one for Yuri and Koto, and getting that underway. I'm hoping once I catch up on my artwork, because I'm behind by like 20 sessions, which is 40 hours of art. I'm hoping once I catch up on that, I'll be in a where I need to. I've been trying to get faster at my art, it's hard. It's hard when I'm stressed and things are weird and this other stuff is going on. Yeah, I used to be a lot faster at art, but I also used to be a lot worse at it. I've reached this point where, like, I'm pretty happy with the quality of my art, but not the speed at which it takes me to get done. I've often said that one of the reasons I'm just a terrible artist in general is that other people can produce much prettier things much faster than I can, and I just don't know how they do it, man. I'm too anal retentive. Like, I developed the art style I have so that I could make things faster, and then I got too specific with it. Like, I've always been detail-oriented, and I just notice when things are off, and I more easily notice them now. And being too much of a perfectionist is definitely, like, a problem. It's the difference between, like, a 95% fine picture and a 98% fine picture, and I keep going for the 98% when I really shouldn't. I can let go a lot of things, and people probably wouldn't even notice the difference, really. I would notice. I would notice. This way. It's been like months since I drew a comic, and that really bothers me too. Because that's the other thing. Just getting all these thumbnails done and keeping up with them has been a real issue. It usually becomes an issue with DDLC because a lot of mods tend to be short. That's part of the reason why I decided to go with club meetings as the next one, because club meetings is very long. Very, very long. It'll give me time to catch up and take a little breather. Indie games, it kind of varies, whether it takes a while. RPGs usually have some meat to them, so I don't have to really worry about those, but there can be short indie games too. They don't tend to rack up quite as fast as DDLC mods can. All I can do is try not to sweat it. Just keep my nose to the grindstone, which has been very, very difficult these days in particular. PH1 is coming along okay. I was putting some finishing touches on the secret final battle for it. The idea I had was, eventually, like after you beat Mewtwo and you get to the end game, you can use the PC in the scientist's lab to do refights. And you refight that fight. So you can fight any battle again using that function that you choose. You just enter whatever number and it goes. You'll also unlock a not-so-endless mode of sorts, where it starts you with the first battle in the list, and it just keeps adding one again and again until you either lose or, like, halt the challenge, I guess. And it's basically an endurance run to see how far you can get in the game, because there are skills that let you be self-sufficient, but it'll be hard to say how feasible it'll be, because like I haven't even really tested like the balance of the new system yet. It totally changed how I was handling the stats. I was trying to give the new final battle a test run today, and it was really tough. It was actually quite difficult. But I was also testing it in the editor, where the heroes, they don't have like the skills that would be available to them. So the player will be much tougher, I think, and probably be able to stand up to it, but it's not something I can accurately gauge without setting up the party with more stuff, basically, for the test run. But yeah, the final battle is going to be at the end of the list, and that'll be the only way you access it. Basically, whenever you're using the PC, if you're entering a singular battle, if you enter the maximum value, it gives you that final fight. And if you're doing, like, the endurance challenge, you'll eventually get there, just have to clear all other fights before it, which would take a very long time. Because there are, like, 1,000 fights. I want to say that's an exaggeration, but I'm not sure it is. I can't remember what the number is, but I set up the database such that there were no gaps, so every number corresponds to a fight, and like I can have the game tell you. Enter a number between 1 and whatever number, and all the player has to do is think to enter the max number, or do the endurance run and see if they can beat them all. Should be interesting, should be fun, I think. A nice little endgame challenge. Will it be as tough as this? I don't really know. I was testing it with the heroes at maximum level. But again, they don't have as many things available to them in the editor test battle than they would in an official play. Because you can get stat increasing items, you can get so many different skills. I mean, even just someone having Rain Dance, and therefore the ability to raise everybody's special in one go, is going to make a huge difference for how that battle plays out. But, yeah, I pulled out all the stops. I was not feeling very merciful when I designed this final fight. Yeah, but wait. Curious to see how it goes. Curious indeed. Haven't gotten back to gaming in a bit. Last gaming session I did was recovering my progress in this. And while gaming is on the table for me right now, there are just other more important things I'm trying to focus on. definitely better to put effort into my creative hobbies than it is to just kick back with more relaxing things like gaming and stuff. I've gotten back into playing Scarlet and Violet. Well, not Scarlet and Violet. I'm playing Violet. But I've been doing the Teal Mask DLC, and I'm nearing the end, I think. I've, like, beat the Loyal 3 and got all the masks back. And I was, like, winding down my session whenever Kieran re-challenged me to a rematch in front of the Ogre's Den. And my goodness, that guy beat me. I'm not exactly using my top-rated team to fight him. I have my starter from the main adventure, who's like level 80-something. She's my Masquerada that I named Monica. That was fun. But the rest of the team is just like newbies and stuff from the Teal Mask DLC. Like, I've got the Empoleon that I raised from the Piplup I was given. I've got a Sinistra, since that one was newly introduced in that DLC. I've got... what else is there? I got my shiny Go-Go that I had caught way late into the game of the main body of Violet. I mean, I'll tell you what, I do not like how the new games handle shiny Pokemon. Not one bit. Like, they don't even make any sound or have any visual indication on the field. You'll just be walking along and be like, hey, that Pokemon's a different color than usual. And what really made me mad, and the reason I never let my Pokemon roam around anymore, is I saw in my stats somewhere, I don't remember where exactly the stats are, but it said I had fought and defeated 5 shinies in battle. And I was like, no, I fought and caught 1 shiny, meaning my wandering Pokemon had found and killed 4 other shiny Pokemon without me noticing. And I was like, well, that... ain't that something? Oh, that's so irritating. No idea what they might have been or where or how, but... Thanks, game. Thanks. Really gnarly stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying the Teal Mask. Anyway, yeah, I got, like, my Go-Goat and my Empoleon and my Masquerada. I'm using the Miraidon I caught at the bottom of Area 0. And what else was there? It's those guys, Sinistra. Oh, and I got a Diplin as well. I haven't evolved it in Hydrapple. I don't remember how to do that. I know you need to level it up while it knows a certain move or something. But the problem is mainly that all these Pokemon are way under-leveled for the DLC. Because whenever you're in the DLC post-game, the trainers have like 70s and stuff. Controller, work! And yeah, Kieran... it's not that his team is that difficult, it's just... his team is like perfectly poised to be against my team, where I have like 4 freaking grass types. And I even still almost beat him. It came down to his Diplin versus my Masquerada, and I used Play Rough and almost killed him. But then he hit me with, I don't even remember what, but he got a crit, and it was just enough to knock her out. And I was like, alright, you know what, man, you won. You won. I'll come back and get you later. There's only so much I can do with my choice of team. Everyone being underleveled and no real good way of like leveling them up. I mean, I guess there's experience candies. I could lean on those. And I do have some other Pokemon I could use if I was so inclined. I raised a bunch of them to level 100 whenever I was trying to get some of the some things you can only get from raid battles online, like Walking Wake and Iron Leaves and stuff. Those guys. Where the only way they were available was from a limited time through raid battles, and I just needed Pokemon that were strong enough to take the heat. But I also didn't want to use my level 100s, because it's like, if you're going to bother leveling or playing the game and getting experience, you might as well be on Pokemon that still need experience. Also, I have fun using alternate things. Like, part of the appeal of Pokemon to me is just raising different stuff and seeing what they're capable of. It just kind of stinks being in such a high-level area with Pokemon that really can't stand up to what's around them. Gotta treat them all like Magikarp. And a lot of the problem is, well, they have a lot of the same weaknesses as my Meowscarada, so... Well... Well... What's going on? Not a lot, apparently. I can't even think. Could talk about how, like, my channel almost got deleted. I mentioned that in the Spelunky Let's Play as well, and don't really feel the need to rehash it here. Long story short, it got flagged for spam automatically, and they said they terminated it, but they were able to restore it within like 3 hours of me appealing it, thank God. And even the videos that were listed as deleted in my playlists have all come back, so I didn't actually have to do anything there. It was just a matter of time before they were restored to what they should be. Thank goodness. All of this just makes me more determined to get my Rumble mirror up. I feel like I'm already pushing the limit on Rumble, though. Like, I have videos there going up 6 a day. Basically, the timetable we have on my YouTube doubled for the time slots. So, like, DDLC will go up at 12:30 a.m. and p.m., and indie games will go up at 5:30 a.m. and p.m., etc., and so forth. Just going as fast as I can. So the videos there, they go up at twice the rate they do on my channel, and they're going to continue doing that until they finally catch up. Just the way it'll be. The way it's gotta be. Yeah, man, I felt so defeated when I saw that email. I was like, jeez, just straight up terminated? Am I even going to be able to get my videos back at all? I was a lot more relieved to discover that it was affecting other people too. Like, whenever it all was said and done, there was like a help page that I was linked to. And when I went there, it said right at the top, we are aware of an issue that is causing channels to be flagged for spam, etc., and so forth. And there was a button that said, I have the same question, and it had like 1,500 count on it. So I was like, alright, I'll click that, so they know it was just one more. That's all there is to that story. Wow. Oh, I almost lost my YouTube channel to probably automated BS. I'm looking forward to streaming other things. We get to go back to Aiden sometime after this. Seeing how long it's taking me to level up on this guy, it's looking like we're probably not going to get more than 2 level ups per stream here. I don't know how much stronger we need to be to take on the Warlords exactly. I'm hoping we get a substantial jump in HP, that it's enough to survive consistently, because we were pretty close before. Like, well, like I said, we did survive it that one time. It's just super inconsistent. And I don't really know how much defense plays into it as a factor. But for all we know, 2 levels will be all it takes. At least enough to try again. I'm willing to give it a shot as long as Buddy can consistently survive the Warlord combo. But yeah, definitely looking forward to giving that new Aiden mod a try. One of the reasons I'm trying to get Troubadour updated is so that it's ready for that, because Aiden was the game I designed Troubadour for in the first place. curious to see how Aiden Action Edition plays out. I really don't know what to expect. The most I know about it is that they changed it such that weapons have a lot more accuracy. And I think they said they raised the experience requirements too because it was too easy to get like your stats maxed before you even reach Chaos Isle. I guess we'll see how it goes. I'll be giving it a very thorough test indeed. I don't slouch when it comes to Eden. I'm also not going to be above using like exploits to get through it, I suppose. We'll just have to see what they do. Because the weapon accuracy thing, it kind of goes both ways. Sure, your attacks will be more accurate, but so will your enemies. And you don't want your enemies getting easy hits on you. That's a good recipe for death. It might actually be a pretty tough game. Battles might go faster though. I suppose that could be a plus. The battles being long is the main reason Aiden takes so long in the first place. Although it wouldn't be that long if I didn't bother to kill, like, literally everything. It's just how I like to roll. I enjoy killing things. Although I kind of question how much of that actually is still true. I've been continuing my personal Aiden Plus challenge run as of late, and finding myself less and less enchanted with the challenge side of it. Like, I've been using exploits regularly that I feel like I should probably add to my list of rules not to use. Basically, in the early game of Aiden, there's this battlefield with a path on it, and there's a sweet spot where you can stand, where the enemies don't know how to get you, and for whatever reason, whenever you stand in these forbidden zones, the enemies can't approach you, and if you use projectiles from those places, you're guaranteed to hit, unless you physically can't do enough damage to hurt them. Which is pretty great. I believe I found one of these for the Goblin Mountain battlefield as well. Not totally sure on that one, but in Chaos Isle there's a really obvious one, and it's right near where the party generally starts in the first place. So I've just had my heroes like run a few steps to the right at the start of every battle, and all the enemies just stand around doing nothing while I heal up everyone and throw weapons or shoot bows and stuff. And just there's no challenge to it at all. And then I have someone venture out and they get wrecked immediately because the monster's too tough. There are ways around it. There are smarter ways to play. I just can't be arsed. For reasons already described, basically. Like, I've got enough things stressing me out. I don't need my leisure time to also be bothering me as things currently stand. When I get back around to streaming Aiden, I think I will amend my rules so that I'm not allowed to do those, and we'll just have the recording be the honor system for me. Like, if I'm using an exploit, it will be apparent to everyone watching. And by everyone, I mean no one, because no one watches my streams. But that's okay. At the very least, the person who made the Aiden mod will be interested to watch. I don't know how interested they'll remain to watch, but I guess we'll see. I hope they're looking forward to it. I just want to get it started, because this Lisa playthrough took a lot longer than I thought it would. All this documenting death. I really didn't think it would be that big of a deal. But it was, and has been. Go, go, buddy. Phew. What's happening in the Let's Play world? We're going to be playing club meetings for a good long while. We're nearing the end of Tastes Like Spelunky, but yes and no in a sort of way, because I do want to fill out the Spelunkypedia, which basically means going out and getting killed in creative ways. And there are other things I can show off in the meantime. There's a particularly juicy unlock waiting for us after we finish the last of the bonus rooms. and we'll almost certainly be able to do that in the next session. Bowser's Dark Plan. Boy, wasn't that an interesting experience so far. I'm glad there is a new and better version to play that is a lot less buggy and awful. But I definitely was kind of enamored and fascinated with the broken version, and seeing if we could just creatively correct the problems with it. Definitely going to revisit that in a stream series at some point. Level up! Alright, we gained to like almost 100 health. Deef only on it by 1. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to make the difference. 100 HP though, that's not nothing. Okay, so let me check your status. Your next level's 80-30. Okay. We're going to give the Warlords a try. I'm just going to throw firebombs until they do the Warlord combo is basically the idea. Because this is not a sincere effort to defeat them. I do want to camp though. Let's sprint over there and shake off our wary. And then we'll see how it goes. Please not Red Spider. Game? Huh. That break seems a lot longer when you can't hear the music. Alright, truck on back to the list. And we'll drop a save. Let's throw bombs at the guys. Let's see how this goes. Go. Just gotta see how much damage they do. And maybe put up second wind before I let things get out of hand. Not gonna make a sincere try. I need to know for sure that we can consistently survive the thing before we try the strategy I described earlier. I just hope it doesn't take too many level ups to get there. I want to say, Buff Van Dyke was killing us by a lot more than just 100 health a lot of these times. Alrighty. Here's your low ladies. We're gonna beat the tar out of you. And maybe some other stuff too. As annoying as this fight is in many ways, you gotta admit, the atmosphere is awesome. Okay, so... Actually, I'm gonna pacify. You guys don't do nothing. I'm gonna get me some TP. There we go. Hey, look, I got the super cool status. Second wind. Oh, does that mean hell no? Worried immediately. See, it'll be a lot easier focusing on dice whenever this is all they're doing. Even though some of them still hit you pretty hard. Alright, and now we throw bombs. These little fire bombs. Blow them up. Oh yeah, dice can catch fire, thank goodness. Thinking... We're lucky we got that cool status. Mr. Beautiful is thinking. Think. Check here. Hollywood has no mercy. Okay, there they're going. They're doing the combo now. Only took a few turns. So let's see. Full health. 705, 530. There's the silence bomb. Showing off. 436, 258, 167. Dodged that, but it would have done more damage. And against all odds, that guy missed. I don't know if they throw in bombs while we're... Did my cool status wear off? I don't actually know. But we definitely would have died. Like, there's no question of that. Which begs the question, why am I still trying? Silence bomb, so obnoxious. Yeah, the one question in my mind, I know that I don't know the answer to. Gosh, even Hansunami can take you out at that level. It's rough. It's rough. We're gonna have to kill one of these guys. I do not know how you're supposed to get down this hole. Sometimes it just doesn't go. This one? This button? Go down the hole, buddy. Alright, that button worked. Let me just test something. Does it work consistently with that? That button does it. That's not the traditional check key. Whatever. Joyful thumb. So yeah, we're gonna need at least one more level up to get this. Yep. Maybe 2 or 3. That's a scary prospect. Maybe I will use my gaming time to get this done. I don't want to. I want to do other things. But I can't imagine this is that entertaining for the viewers either. So. How many of these guys are you gonna have to watch me kill before we can beat the warlords? Again, I also spent like 8 streams grinding for unicorns and that other game, so it's not like it's beneath me. I am so bad. Helps if I don't miss these attacks. Yeah, like that. I was really hoping she would get more defensive stats and stuff, but they went up by like 1 each. That's so low. She had some decent gains from what I saw in the old streams in Larry Stintz's easy mode, but they were inevitably going to be high gains because she jumped so many levels. She went from like level 20 to 88 by the end. We'll just have to hope for the best. We'll get him eventually. Eventually is good enough for me. Whether it's good enough for you, I guess that's up to you. I'm gonna keep blathering about nonsense and BS. Did this guy die already? Grief. Did he just not get bled or something? Die! Sheesh. Seriously worth like 1% of our experience requirement every time. On the plus side, we do have like the ending of the secret stuff to this game to look forward to. Because we have not taken joy this entire time, and we're not going to. We'll be able to see like the full extent of Buddy's hallucinations. Although I've heard it's actually kind of dumb in the end. Whatever, we'll see it. We'll see and decide for ourselves, I guess. of challenge runs I'm looking forward to in this game. I was originally going to do a joyless run as a challenge run, but it's such a common thing. Like, it's even an achievement in the games to do, and it's really not that difficult to pull off. So what I was thinking of doing instead of a joyless run, I was going to do an overjoyed run, where every time Brad has a craving, you have to use a joy pill, and if you don't have any joy pills, you have to go to the nearest mutant and fight them for the joy. Thought that might be a good way to do it. See how that goes. I'd have to pick a party that is not addicted to joy at all, though, so that Brad is the only one getting cravings and I don't get confused. Because it would be super obnoxious to have, like, the screen flash and sound play, and then you check in the menu and it's not even Brad, it's just some other jerk. I was like, yeah, maybe that would be fun. Instead of a run where you can't use joy, a run where you have to use joy. Yeah, that one, and a run where you can only use single target attacks. Those are two that I haven't really integrated into my plans yet. I need to figure out how I want that to work. Because I had made a whole array before. I designed a spreadsheet that listed out all the characters and which ones are addicted to joy and what weapons they use and like what levels they are and what I had already picked the challenges I wanted to do and saw who was best suited to what and arranged them all like that. But that was before I got these ideas in mind, and I was like, now I need to re-choose basically. Like the joyless run is easy enough to replace with the overjoyed run, but the problem there is for the joyless run, I decided the way I would make it difficult was that I would have a party with a lot of joy users, plus a Jeet. Or is it a Yeet? Whatever. That guy. The guy who's like anti-joy. Because it seems appropriate that if we were going to do a joyless run, we would get him to help. And he would just be like, it would be our joy users anonymous group getting through the game. Kind of funny to think about, but it's not that difficult. I guess I could make that one the single target group instead. I need to decide which of my runs I'm going to replace instead, though, because they were both kind of vying for that same space. I need to look at my other desired challenges and see which one I don't feel like doing. I've got some really basic ones planned, like itemless, magless, etc. Magless being you can't buy anything, and itemless being you can't pick up or use items. Haven't decided if that should extend to equipment or not. Items can be kind of important in this game, though, is the thing. So for you to, like, really be viable in an itemless run, you would need to have a party that can support itself, much like how Buddy is self-sufficient. And that means you need somebody who can heal. Also had an idea for, like, a group that makes better use of the drunk mechanics, since I never really bother with that. Similar to You Must Be Joyed, maybe You Must Be Drunk. Keep people drunk all the time. Don't know how viable that would be. It's not quite as simple as the joy thing. Because you get a lot of joy for free, and I guess liquor isn't that expensive. I don't know. I usually have so many other things I want to spend mags on that I just don't bother with liquor, and that's part of the reason why that kind of run would intrigue me, because it's outside the norm. I don't usually do that. Would a drunken battler run be worth doing? Could be. Drunk offers some perks and some drawbacks. That's what makes it a curious condition. We know it has utility for Buddy, at least. Go, Buddy. Just spend the entire game sloshed as much as possible. long song. I feel like it's been going for a while. I also feel like that music might be a little loud compared to the game. I also kind of don't care. As long as you can hear me over it, I guess it's fine. Not that I really have much to say at this point. I've only got a half an hour left and I've already exhausted my topics. My body of topics. That's what I was trying to say, I think. Not so much to talk about, really. When things haven't really been moving too fast. If anything, there's been more going on for me personally lately than usual, but I don't really like to get too personal with stuff I talk about online. Superficial stuff like what I've been gaming and what I'm planning to do in the future is fine, but like... I already had like one run-in with a parasocial relationship and I don't intend to make that more of a thing than it has to be. Let's keep the screen between us, dear viewer. That's all I gotta say. One thing I was hoping to do with Troubadour before the Aiden stream started again was to get caught up to where I am in the games I've played. I've been adding battle themes from games I've played, but I had quite a backlog when I started, so I only recently caught up to it. And, like, I'm currently adding battle themes from Sword and Shield, and there are a lot of those, like, a surprising number. There are actually some songs that classify as battle themes that I don't, personally. So that's a little weird. I'm not going to be adding them as battle themes. Sometimes I consider them not really that. Like, for example, there's this point in the game where you storm Rose Tower, and there's a theme that plays while you're doing that. And yeah, most of Rose Tower is battles, because it eventually becomes the battle tower, and you just ride an elevator up. But the game considers that a battle theme, and I consider that an action sequence that you happen to battle to. And there are a couple themes like that. Like from the DLC specifically, there's the towers where you can train Kubfu into Urshifu. They each have their own theme, and they get listed as a battle theme, but I don't consider them. It's the theme of the tower, not the theme of the battles within. Even if it is a battle zone, that's the theme of the tower. But anyway, way too many battle themes in that, and it's looking like I just won't quite get there. There are simply too many songs to add. It's looking like this might take another couple weeks, unfortunately. So maybe if I'm super diligent with my music editing time, I can get that done. It doesn't seem likely. Especially if I keep getting battle tracks from other sources. Like today I had to add battle themes from our recent SMBX games, which was why I didn't get further with the Sword and Shield stuff. Last thing I did before the stream was I was fixing the loop on my Pokemon Sun and Moon Team Skull battle theme. I don't know what happened with the version I got somehow, but like, for whatever reason, the first loop was louder than the second. It was really weird. I couldn't figure out why, and when I looked it up online, it didn't have that issue, so I just downloaded a new copy and used that. But I had to figure out like where to loop it to and cut it just right, and I was doing that like 5 minutes before the stream. So I didn't get to any of the other stuff. I'm caught up on other things. I already got like the Kirby boss battle theme out of from Tastes Like Spelunky, and I got all the battle themes that were listed for Bowser Stark Plan and Super Fortnite Bros 2. Not too much difficulty there. You never know. You never know how quickly this things might rack up. Just gotta keep up. Keep up as best I can. I feel like that's all I've been doing lately, just struggling to keep up. The one thing I really want to catch up on is my reviews, and it's the one thing I just don't have the time to put aside for. Goodness. This is all because of how things changed at work, like I said earlier. If my coworker was still there to handle the one side of the workload, I would still have the time I could use to write. But I don't, and I wasn't using it before because I was taking it for granted, and now it's gone. Now my job is like a real job. I actually have enough to fill my hours. Probably not a good thing to admit publicly, but, you know, it's not like I let them down. I complete my tasks. I complete them on time and regularly. Is it so weird not to ask for more tasks? I might just have to, like, bite the bullet and, set some personal time for writing aside. We'll see how things go. It would seem like it's unrelated, but it being an election year and how things are going to go in the next month or so, God, it's hard to believe that just in, like, I guess it's 31 days or 30 from now, we'll be voting, like, for the same day voters, that is. The mail-in voting has already begun. And depending on how the election turns out, I have decided, depending on that result, I might need to just drop everything and write the philosophy book I've been meaning to for a year at this point. Because, like, if it goes one way, I feel like things aren't going to be that bad. If it goes the other way, though, and I'm not going to say which because I don't want to get all partisan and stuff on this channel, but the thing is, depending on which way it goes, I feel like, in one instance, the country might need a voice of philosophical reason more than in another. So, you know, take that how you will. Yeah, I told myself if it goes the worst of the two ways, then I'm gonna need to write that book and just get it out there. Make a concerted effort. It's too important. Things are getting too ugly in the world. There might not be a lot I can do to change it, but I can at least say something. For the longest time, I thought that, like, my philosophical views were obvious enough that they didn't need to be elaborated upon, but clearly not. Clearly not. I'm a very practical person. I have a very practical outlook on things. And I just see some of the foolishness that people spout these days, and I'm just like, how do you even have these ideas, man? When the anti-racists are the most racists among us and things like that. It's like, jeez. How these ideologies have become so warped. I don't feel the need to elaborate any further than that. I'll just put it all in the book and just put it out there. And we'll see what happens. I swear I don't understand how these guys survive so well sometimes. Sometimes it feels like I get it done in 2 stabs, and other times it feels like it takes 3 or 4. Probably has more to do with how well I landed the timing. I've been trying not to think too hard about it. It's not a very hard target to hit. You can see the entire animations because it's like right in the middle of the screen and all. What's this? Me having talented Lisa? No. Okay, maybe I'll leave. You can only take a swing at this guy so many times before you get better at it. It'll be really interesting to see what the death toll is like just to get this done. Genocide run indeed. That was a bad one. That's why it took so long. This year really has been one of a lot of rapid change. I feel like it all started whenever RMN went down back in May. It just hasn't been the same since. That was like the start of it all, and you know when it rains it pours, things only just get worse and worse. Too many transitions and adjustments. Man, I was so comfortable with how things were going before. It's such a bother with RMN too, because like, we have it back, but not really. More often than not, whenever I check it, I just get the crash page that sends you to either the Discord or the game archives. And like, having access to the game archives is great and all, but I haven't been able to do like my review checking duties on the site for a very long time. I don't even know if there are reviews to check, or if anyone can even submit them. That's such a bother. I have no idea what, like, their development timetable is, and whenever the site is down, you can't get things out of my locker, which is where I have downloads hosted, like, for the Aiden mods and, like, DDLC stuff. And I've created, like, Google mirrors for some of those, but I don't like them. I don't like to do that. The locker was such a handy feature for RMN for me. Just reliable file storage that isn't in the hands of big tech or a place swamped with ads 24/7. I also used my locker to keep files transferred back and forth so I could access them from multiple places. Basically used it like a cloud, sort of. But now I've had to resort to using my email for that, because while I would normally use Google Drive, for whatever reason Google Drive is not accessible for me at work. I don't know why. It's been like that for a very long time. You'll click the link and you'll be like, can't reach this page, and a little thought bubble pops up on the thing. It's like, okay. Other Google features work, I don't know why this one doesn't. I guess it's possible my company blocks the use of Google Drive, but I don't know why they would specifically. It's weird. But yeah, since I have files I use both at home and at work, to transfer them back and forth, I'm always just emailing them to myself, and that's super annoying. It's not the most efficient process. It's hard to keep track of which files are what and where, and it's super annoying. If I change it in one place, I have to email it again, and I just get tired of doing that. send a new email for every blessed thing that changes. Gotta check timestamps and make sure that what I'm using is the most up-to-date copy and that I got it before or whatever. It's just yet another thing I need to keep track of when all this other stuff is going on and driving me crazy. I miss Argument, is what I'm trying to say. Not just for the longer space either. So we can't take down the guy. I feel like we have before. I was just really paying attention that time to make sure I landed the hit properly both times. And we did! 2 perfect hits can take them out. I guess one other thing I want to point out about my Warlord strategy is part of the reason why it's so important to be able to survive the Warlord combo with everyone involved is that the necessity to kill Dice Mahone first it just cannot be ignored. The thing is, Dice does not contribute any damage to the Warlord combo, but you have to deal with him, because otherwise you're going to be silenced and unable to hurt the rest of them, even if you can get rid of enough of them with firebombs. So Dice has to go first, no matter what, and him contributing 0 to the combo means you need a lot more HP and or defense to survive Han and buff Van Dyke's attacks. You just need a lot of health. And there's no way around it, really. Like, yeah, Han will die somewhere into the firebomb phase, but the firebomb phase doesn't start until you've already got them doing the Warlord combo. At which point, you're going to be using Jerky every turn until your pacifist thing is ready, and then you get to pacify, throw a bomb, and start healing again. And that's assuming you're not, like, so low that bleed damage will kill you, because you have to watch out for that, too. They really wanted it to be impossible. But then they left this guy in here that you can kill infinitely. And if this is your solution, well, have at it. And it is my solution, and it's kind of the only solution that I can see. There's just no other way to do it. You either have enough gumption to take the Warlord combo on the chin, or you don't, and that's that. I think it will be pretty glorious when we pull it off, though. So as far as I know, no one has done it. No one has bothered to do it. And I think we're seeing the reasons why today. And I can't help but feel like if I had been more on top of what I needed to do, updating Troubadour, that we have fit in 2 levels today. It's okay. We'll get as close as we can. We've still got 12 minutes. How did I get that one so fast? Good grief. We're like not even halfway there. Unsurprisingly, it takes more mysterious figures to get to the next level. More than the previous level, I mean. Yeah, since the experience they give is static, and I checked Buddy's status before each level up process, I can just calculate how many were killed based on that. We're really gonna bloat the death total. We're killing a lot of these guys. I'm kind of interested to see what the final death toll will be. We won't really know until we've done, like, the finale. But I'm gonna have, like... We're gonna see how many things were found as just corpses, how many things I killed in the adventure total, and then we're going to factor out the random encounters, so it's just, like, characters and stuff that actually died, one-offs. Non-infinite sources of experience that were killed. Should be pretty interesting. Also, I think it'll be fun to read over the list of everyone we've killed, or gotten killed. There are so many. So much death. Since my gaming time has recovered, I could theoretically start doing the Sunday streams I was talking about, but I don't know that I'm ready for that necessarily. I really need to catch up on other things first, unfortunately. I need to just get to a point where things feel stable enough that I can do that, is basically it, and I am not there. What reminded me was that, well, this song is from Zelda, and one of the games I plan on streaming is, like, the Game Boy Zelda's, like, Oracle Seasons and Ages. Because my game randomizer, whenever I had finished GoldenEye, it had given me Oracle of Seasons to play, and I was like, yeah, I could do that, but it's a game I've played before, and if I'm gonna play it again, I figure I might as well play it on the channel. But it's behind a bunch of other games similarly added to my stream list, like Mario Galaxy. And that's the only one I remember that's on there. Wait, no, Pokemon Moon is on there too, I think. Anyway, yeah. This song being from Zelda, I was like, Zelda. Alright, Oracle-based Seasons. Oh right, I was going to stream commercial games at some point. Oh right, my life is a train wreck right now, and I need to get it back on the rails before I can worry about anything like that. And when I say my life is a train wreck, I mean like a first world train wreck. Like, how do I want to put this? Like a toy train set that has fallen off the tracks because a cat smacked it, and I just need to find the time to put it all back together. I feel like that's a pretty accurate description of my problems. And I wholly acknowledge that that is the nature of it. I usually keep my problems to myself for this exact reason, because they're just not as bad as the things everyone else has to deal with. And man, am I thankful for that. But it doesn't make them any less annoying for me. Just gotta quietly bear my burdens, for they are light burdens. And there is some character building in bearing light burdens. Or rather, bearing them quietly rather than just voicing them. When you put up with stuff, it makes you tougher. Even if it's kind of trivial stuff. Stress is stress no matter what the source, right? You still feel stress, it's just like what degree of stress. I guess I'm mostly thankful that the things that give me stress are not, like, traumatic levels of stress. There's so many people out there who've had way too much to deal with, and it's just, like, messed them up forever. It's sad. I feel bad for those people. I also just realized this long playing right now is kind of fitting for what we're doing. Literal hordes of darkness here, just one guy at a time. We have to have killed like a horde of these guys by now, right? I wonder if this thing's inclusion is a developer oversight. It's kind of hard to say. Because I could see it going both ways. I could see them having this guy here, specifically so the player can grind if they're finding the rest of the game too difficult. Because, like, routinely, it seems the criticism of Joyful has been that, oh, it's too hard, when it's really not that hard at all. You just need to have better decision making. Even without Joy, it's not that difficult. But not everyone is, like, tactically minded, and the more, like, sledgehammer-y your approach to battle is, the less well you'll do, I suppose. I don't know why sledgehammer-y is the way I decided to describe it, but I think you get the idea. Maybe bullheaded is a better way to describe it. Anyway, yeah, the more direct your approach to battle, the more difficult time you'll have. You really need to choose carefully how you play. But if someone was struggling and they just needed more experience and there was an easy enemy that they could get more experience from, this certainly solves that problem handily. But at the same time, it is completely at odds with our current goal, beating the Warlords of Oled, which is supposed to be impossible. And it is very possible when you have a source of infinite experience. Even if it takes 84 years to get there, you will eventually have enough experience that the Warlords will not be a problem. Watch, it'll turn out like they level up based on your level, and this is just an exercise in futility. Boy, would that be a real kick in the nuts. I don't think it is that way. I don't really have any reason to believe it would be that way. Like, as far as I know, nothing else in Lisa uses level scaling, so I assume these are just static enemies in the database. Their stats do not change. Like, how can you be sure? Do you ever really know? Well, looks like we're about done with the stream for today. I think the next guy might be the last. For now. We got 1 2/3 levels, and the 1 wasn't nearly enough to get us there, so that doesn't bode well for next time, but, you know, maybe I'll be in a better space next time, and I'll have more things to talk about. Wouldn't that be exciting? Not really? Well, screw you, pal. Why are you here? Alright, yep. I'm gonna head back to the safe crow, and I think that's going to do it for this one. I will tally up the death count of mysterious figures in my own time, and we'll see how much gets added to this thumbnail. But yeah, that's going to do it for now, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with training montage number 2. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.